Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Paige and today I was thinking we'd see if Goodreads can change my mind. The idea for this video is that I've chosen 3 books that I rated 3 stars and I'm going to go through the 1-star and the 5-star reviews and see if either way can sway me. I thought 3 stars was probably a safer bet than like trying to read reviews for 1-star or 5-star books that I've rated, because I feel like I would feel so strongly about them that it would make no difference and it'd be a boring video. So we're going to see if Goodreads can change my mind. Do subscribe if you're new here. I upload every Wednesday and Friday, so there is no shortage of bookish content. And do like this video if you like the idea of it. Check out some of my other ones. I've been working really hard at my videos lately, so it'd mean a lot if you could check them out. I've chosen 3 books to see if you guys can sway me on. There's A Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, The Hero of Ages by Sanderson, which is Mistborn book 3, and A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, which if you guys saw my reading rash vlogs you will know that I was not a fan of it. So we'll see if the reviews for that one can persuade me to give it another go or slate it even more than I already did in that video. I chose these 3 books because when I was going through my Goodreads ratings, some of the ones from a couple years ago I no longer feel that they should be 3 stars. I feel like I grossly underrated books back then. These 3 books are ones that I genuinely feel impartial about. So I didn't want to choose a book that I'd given a 3-star but I secretly was like, no, I really enjoyed that one. These are books that I was genuinely like, these are a solid 3-star. I feel so impartial towards it. Let's get on with the Ninth House reviews. I believe I gave this a 3-star because I thought the writing was great. I thought the mystery was all wrapped up nicely in the end, but it just wasn't my personal cup of tea. I wanted more of a university setting and this wasn't that. We'll start with the 5 stars. We'll start positive. Here, this one is by, and it goes, there are always excuses for why girls died. To answer your question, yes, it really is that good. Not only does every character have an alias and maybe even a nickname, so do the buildings at Yale. And since all my Yale knowledge is based on that cute little courtyard from Gilmore Girls, I struggled to figure out where and who and what was going on. Yes, that is something I majorly struggled with. The book was somber and thrilling, brimming with ancient mysteries, magic and the promise of danger. Characters were incredibly well painted, my favourites being Turner and Dawes. The plot was thought out, and until the very end it was tense and exciting. I don't agree with that. I was bored most of the way through. No, I don't agree with the 5 stars. We'll filter by 1 star now. My god, can I stop getting spam emails? Really annoying. All the 200 pages I read, I didn't have a single clue about what was happening. I didn't know who or what this Dante was. Realised halfway through that Alex hadn't finished high school and that she was rescued from life and misery, blah blah blah. In all of this mess, it's kind of hard to give a damn about Yale secret societies. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I agree that it was very hard to know what was going on in this book, but I did get the plot. I did give a damn about the secret societies. I just didn't give a damn about everything else. Okay, someone has literally just made a section why I hated this book. How boring it was during the first few chapters. Kind of. Okay, this person thinks that the setting was overwritten and that kind of played down her story. I think I agree with that. The setting was a big part of the book, but not in a school sense. When I heard that it was a Yale book, I thought that there was going to be a lot more class elements, you know, like I thought that we'd actually see our protagonist doing university stuff, and I was excited about that, and there just wasn't any of that. It was just about the building and the history of the school, history of the town, yada yada yada. Yeah, it did kind of seem a little bit like Bardugo was just trying to info dump. This is a very fair point. It takes over 100 pages before you get to the murder, and it takes a quarter of the book before you know that this book is a murder mystery. Yeah, that was a big issue. I had no clue this was a murder mystery going into it or until the murder happened, and even when the murder happened I didn't know that it was going to be such a big part of the plot to discover what happened. Yeah, I think I would have preferred if this book had fewer elements. It was trying to do too many things and it hurt the plot by doing that because it wanted to be a murder mystery with magical realism. It was a fantasy. I would have preferred if we had just delved into secret societies and a magic element rather than bringing in a murder. Yeah, I think I agree that this book is more towards the 1-star, 5-star. I'm not going to actually change my rating for any of these, by the way, because I want to look back on them and know how I first rated them. I think 3-star may have been generous on this one. Okay, right, let's move on to The Hero of Ages by Brian and Sanderson. I've talked about this trilogy a lot. Basically, the magic system is alchemy, and there are these mistborns, and when they consume metals, they have the power to burn them and then use them for power. And the second book in this trilogy is one of my favourite books of all time. I gave it 5 stars. It's the one that deals with consequence and maintaining power in a way that no fantasy book ever does. And then this third book was a huge letdown coming off the second one. The ending is my most disappointing ending of all time, and yeah, I gave this a 3 star, and I'm excited to see if anyone can change my mind. I'm again gonna start with the 5 stars because we're gonna start positive on all of these. It's got way more 5-star reviews than 1 star. It's got 156,589 5-star reviews and 1,193 1-star reviews. So that does go to say a lot about this book. Of all of the reviews on Goodreads, it has the most 5-star reviews of any of the other stars. Someone just said, I am a changed person. Literally everyone is freaking out so hard about this book that they can't write an actual review. Did these people read a different book to the one I did? This person says that they really appreciate Sanderson's heavy inclusion of religion and religious characters in his work. He somehow is able to ask those big questions, taking his characters through hell and back without making the real feel at all criticised and alienated. I do actually really agree with that. There is a huge element of religion in this trilogy, and it doesn't feel imposing or judgmental in any way. It just feels like an exploration of religion in the same way that the second book was an exploration of consequence. I do very much agree with that. Sobs, what an ending to a fantastic trilogy. Just wow. They're the worst ending ever. Okay, right, I think we've established that the 5-star reviews are not very good reviews, and that apparently none of them are changing my mind because I just feel very strongly that this was a shitty ending. Let's go to the 1 stars because these will be more fun. Okay, this one, I loved book 1, tried my best to finish book 2, but book 3 got to me. Reading about Elland and not Kelsier feels like going to a Queen concert featuring Adam Lambert instead of Freddie Mercury. I appreciate the comparison, but I don't agree. I actually really enjoyed reading about Elland. I didn't think Kelsier was that amazing of a character. I don't really agree with any of these 1-star reviews. Oh, someone found plot holes. Let's see what these plot holes are. You can't make a review saying there's plot holes and then not detail what those plot holes are. This book was boring. Essentially nothing happened until the last 200 pages. There was a lot of thinking, introspection, some dialogue, but all of those thoughts had already been thought in previous books, just in different locations. Felt like every 50 pages you were just spinning back to read the same already tired ideas. I agree with that to an extent. I do think this book is a book of introspection and nothing really happens until the end of the book, and then it's really disappointing how it ends. However, I wouldn't say that I found this book particularly boring. I kind of enjoyed the introspection and stuff like that I wouldn't say I give it a 1 star because nothing happened until the end. I'm okay with that. I give it a 1 star because I read 600 pages and then at the end it was just terrible and disappointing, and I don't want to read a book for an ending like that. Yeah, I'd say that my evaluation of this as a 3-star read is pretty sound because I don't agree with the 5 stars, I don't agree with the 1 stars. Maybe let's read some 3 stars and see. Yeah, everyone just seems to have an issue with how slow these books are, and I don't have that issue. Maybe I need to write my own review of this so that my thoughts are out there, because no one else seems to feel the way I do. But I agree that it should be a 3 star, so gonna leave it as a 3 star on this one. Goodreads, you could not convince me. It's time to do A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, which is one I'm kind of scared to do. I think I have actually reviewed this one on Goodreads. A link to my Goodreads page will be down in the description, where it always is if you're interested in adding me on Goodreads and seeing some of my reviews. Yeah, I'm nervous for this one because everyone was so excited about it. Wow, only 1% of readers, which is 37 people, have reviewed this as a 1 star. Okay, so much thought went into these characters and building them amidst all the action. Highly disagree. I've spoken before about how terrible I think the world building and character building in this book is. You just get dropped in and nothing is explained or dealt with. Characters are just spend so much time just being introspective and soul-searching rather than actually doing anything or teaching you anything about the world or magic or getting to know each other. It's just a book of introspection. A Song of Wraiths and Ruin is a strong debut novel that weaves in timely themes, builds an interesting magic system, and serves up a shock and awe ending. Builds an interesting magic system is what I'm focusing on here, if you hadn't already worked that out. There's gods, and those gods kind of play a part. There is a magic system, but I wouldn't say it's explained or built up well or really dealt with well. I honestly think that I may have read a different book to these people, because I just didn't get it. The world building is beautiful, unique, and although the beginning was a little confusing, it became clear very quickly. Am I just stupid? Like, I feel like this is a recurring theme with a lot of these books. Am I just dumb? Do I not understand basic things? Let's see if any of the 1-star people vibe with me. I'm seriously bored, unengaged, the characters annoy me, the plot is boring. I kind of agree with that. I just find it boring, and I didn't engage with it. I didn't engage with the characters, the world, anything like that. Way too simplistic YA, and I never attached to the character's world or story, most of which has been done before and better by others. I agree. I don't think there was anything particularly unique about this book other than the fact that it's based on African folklore. There was like a champion kind of competition, but that's just Throne of Glass. I couldn't get into it, couldn't vibe with it. I think, sadly, I agree with every single one of the 1-star reviews. So Goodreads, you have convinced me that I do not like A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. I won't be rereading it, and in my head it's gone down to a 2 or a 1-star review. I will leave it at 3 stars on my Goodreads. Goodreads, you did manage to convince me on 2 out of 3 books, so I guess that's kind of a win. I don't know if it's good that I'm so easily impressionable. I stand by my thoughts on The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. My issue with that is just that the ending is terrible, and if any of you agree with me, please let me know down below, because no one other than me seems to think that the ending to this trilogy is terrible. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm sorry it's a shorter one. I am actually currently on holiday and this is pre-filmed, but don't worry, I will still be there answering comments and stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.